Okay, in this video section we're going to go through layer styles, which for me are the great part of Photoshop. They help to really bring the designs alive. They add bevels to your shapes, or drop shadows to your text, or pretty much anything you like. And they're all controlled by layer styles, which we'll be going into in just a second. First things first, though, we just need to change the background color of this design, just so it's not the white and it's the correct dark blue color that you've seen on the final design here. To do that, what we will do is we will just click foreground color to set the foreground color, and we'll choose the RGB of 8, 39 and 65. Anybody would think I'd just done this before. And if we click OK, we now have the correct color selected. Now we need a separate layer for the background. So what we'll do to do that, we'll create a new layer as we have in the past. Click there. We'll see the new layer has been created. We'll just rename that by right clicking and going to layer properties, or just double clicking on the text, whichever you prefer. I'll do it this way. Just call that BG for background and OK that. Now we need to fill this layer with the selected color. So to do that, we go to Edit and Fill, or Shift and F5 if you prefer, and that brings up this box. So we're going to fill with the contents of the foreground color, which is the correct color. There are different options here. We could fill it with a background color, a set color, or a pattern, but for now we'll just concentrate on foreground color. Make sure normal and 100% are selected in the opacity, and click OK. And as you can see, that's now filled the entire layer with the correct background color. Next thing we'll do is we'll just get rid of these guides from view. So we won't actually get rid of them because we'll need them for positioning and things later on, but they're just hindering the design at the moment. So if we get rid of them from view by hiding them, we do that by going to View, funnily enough, and Show and Guides here, which, as you can see, the shortcut for that is Control and the semicolon key. So if I just click that, the guides are gone. Now if I hold the Control and colon key down, you see they reappear, and we can just easily switch between the two states by doing that, which is very useful. So if I just lose them for now, the next thing we're going to do is add a style to the shape layer, which is this one here. Now there are a couple of ways we can do this, as there is in for most things that you do in Photoshop. We can either double click somewhere on the layer that isn't the text. So if I do that, double click, it brings up our layer style palette. I'll just cancel that for now to show you the other way, and that is by going down to here, and as you can see it says add layer style. So if I click on that, it brings up the different options that we have. What we want to do first is to add bevel and emboss. So if I click on that, you can see straight away that a bevel has been added to our shape, and that looks pretty nice and soft bevel. That's the default setting, but it's not the setting that we require. So what I'm going to do is just go through and change the ones that we want to change, rather than going through what every single option does on here and getting you bogged down. We'll just stick to the things that we need to change. First of all, it's the depth here. We need to change this to 500%. Now, as you type in these figures, just watch what happens in the background here. You can see that the bevel becomes a lot sharper, a lot deeper. A nice way of playing with these is just to grab the slider and go right to the maximum, right to the minimum, so you can see all points in between and what exactly these options are doing. But for now, we want that to be set to 500. The next one is the size. Again, if we just drag that about, you can see exactly what changes on there. The default 5 was a little bit large for us, so we're just going to change that down to 3. That's nice. So we've got a nice sharp, not too big bevel going on there. And at the moment, I just think what you see underneath here, where it's dark, that's just a little bit too dark for our liking. It's too much of a contrast. So if I just grab our layer style palette here, the shadow mode here, which is the black, again if I drag the slider and show you exactly what it does, it just changes the intensity of that. It's right down to nothing. You can have 0 or 100, which is obviously very contrasty indeed. We'll just change this down to 65 rather than the default 75, and that just lightens it up a little bit. And we're okay there. That's the bevel that we want. So if we click OK, you've just added your first layer style on the Minisite. I think that's a nice place to stop. All we'll do is we'll save the document again, save as, design, and do you want to replace? Yes, and OK. And I think then you can move on to the next video.